Retro Unboxing.
Hello viewers, welcome back to the channel. I'm Jonathan and this is Retro Unboxing. Now, firstly I'd just like to apologise. I really enjoyed doing the videos that I posted a couple of months ago, and I'd really planned on doing them, far more regularly. But, COVID, blah blah blah, etc, etc. It's just been a tough few months, and I've just really not been able to get around to doing what I wanted to do. So the video today, I did actually film it a couple of 3 months ago, and I've really only just got around now to resolving it, getting it all put together, and getting it out here. So basically, to cut a long story short, I was desperately wanting to get hold of a as new as possible, if not brand new, Samsung D900 or D900i from back in the day, and I've been on eBay for weeks and weeks looking for a new one, or an early new one, or whatever, and to be honest, I was struggling to find one. So long story short, I thought I'll just buy one, and I'll buy a replacement case, and I'll put one together. I'll put a new case on an old phone. I thought, how difficult can this be? I'm reasonably adept at taking things to bits and putting them back together, but it was a bit of a saga, let me tell you. So if you're planning on watching this as a tutorial, I'll be able to teach you some of the lessons, some of the trials and tribulations and pitfalls of refurbishing or dismantling a Samsung D900. So very briefly, this is the finished result, and it's actually pretty good. I was really pleased with the end product. It's really nice, but for a couple of reasons that you'll find out towards the end of the video, and it is a bit of an epic, to be fair, but for a couple of reasons you'll find out why this is not this is not ideal. So enjoy the video, and I'll see you at the end. Right, so as I mentioned, what I've done is picked up a couple of D900s because I've just been struggling to find. I wanted to find a new one, as I mentioned earlier. So what I've done is just pick up a couple of used, battered D900s, and I thought what I should be able to do is, between these two, is make up one good, properly fully boxed Samsung D900. When they both arrived, they're not in great condition. They're okay, but I mean, the slide mechanism on this is a little bit stiff. It's almost like there's, I don't know, chewing gum or some crap under there somewhere. So that one's a bit ropey, and everything's all a bit tangled up, and I can sort that out, don't get me wrong, but this one was a little bit better. We've actually got a disc. I'm sure I've got a set of instructions somewhere, but this has got a couple of things that are bagged up and clearly never been used, so that's all pretty good. And this one's in not brilliant condition either. So as I said earlier, what I've done is picked up, or at least this one works. The battery's obviously got some charge in it. I've not tested that one yet, just deciding what to do. So what I've done is picked up from eBay a replacement shell, and it looks legit. It looks like it's a proper Samsung unit. So I'm going to attempt to use this as a donor and pop it in this new shell. So it's got, there's the shell, and then actually got a new screen and a new keypad. The reason I think it's pretty genuine is there's that little kind of holographic-y value to the Samsung logo there. But whatever, like I said, I just really wanted to get hold of a nice new one, but I've just not been able to buy one. So I'm going to pop that out of the way a sec. I'm going to pop all of this out of the way a sec. And then I've got a little screwdriver, and I'm going to see how we get on. So the screen on this looks pretty good. I'm just going to whack the battery in this one and just see if this one looks any better. I do notice with the inside back of this, you've not got the you know, the Samsung information and barcode and whatnot there, but you know, I can cope with that, frankly. But everything else looks pretty good. I think the other thing I've got to do is piggle that off of there and stick that on there. It doesn't look like a replacement's come for that little rubbery bit there. So we'll see. Put that to one side. Right, what are we doing? We're sticking a battery in this one just to see if this one looks any better. Alright, okay, so yeah, I remember this is the D900i. It's on Virgin. Now, honestly don't know what the difference between the D900 and the D900i is. I'll check it out on the internet shortly. But what I will do is use the D900i innards, I think, to go into the new shell. I'm hoping they'll match. I doubt they won't. I suppose we'll see soon. So this is the one I'm going to use, so I'll chuck all of that out of the way. The battery's pretty full, so that's good news. I'll just turn this off and start dismantling it. See how we get on. Right. Wish me luck, folks. Now, all there is immediately are 4 little screws, so I'll pop those out. I'll keep them just there. I'm hoping this is going to be quite easy after things have happened. The problem is, I've got quite big hands and I'm a little bit butterfingered, so you know, this is I'm not particularly dexterous or nimble fingered, as some would say. On which note, I used to work in the recruitment industry, and back in the day I actually recruited for a business that refurbished mobile phones, although as you can clearly see I've never done this myself. But when we put the advert on the job centre website, we advertised for people that were nimble fingered, and a couple of days later we had an email from the .gov Job Centre Plus website saying you can't use the word fingered in your job advert. Anyway, alright, so I've took those 4 screws out, and I mean, I kind of half expected to come out. I think what I'll do is just have a look at how this assembly disassembles. Right. So there's just a couple of little clips just there, so I think that's what I need to kind of tug out. There's another word that might not be allowed on Job Centre website. Tug. Now I'm also a little bit conscious that what isn't included with this kit is the camera button there and the volume rocker there, and these aren't in great condition, so I might end up, yeah, I think I'll probably use this one as well, because these buttons are in a little bit better condition. we'll see how we go with the dismantling. Just give it a gentle tug. Dipstick. There's a couple more screws just beneath these little lugs. Best way to get those out. Right then, folks. So just been and had a look what I've got in my toolkit that I thought would probably do the job, and I've got these right pointy little tweezer things just made for the job. So have a look. What I wanted to do is just try and pop these out without causing any damage to anything. That was easy. I could probably have done that with my fingernail. No, alright, let's do the tweezers. There we go. That's that, and while I'm at it, I'm just going to pull the little rubbery Samsung mobile.com back off of there. That's that. I noticed what looks to me like it's probably an aerial, which is why it's hidden behind that little rubber thing. Let's get these last couple of screws out then. And hopefully the back will just come off nicely. There we go. So this is the new part. This is the old one, and I mean, yeah, it looks pretty. It looks pretty OEM. It's got the it's got some sort of mould stamp. The numbers all look pretty similar, so I reckon that's probably quite genuine. I'll chuck that back over there. So it's just that bit that I'm not going to have. Oh, don't need that anymore. Oh, the volume rocker fell out, and the little camera shutter button has also fallen out. That kind of sat there, so I'll put that to one side. So what I need to work out now is how to get the PCB off and out of here safely without pulling out breaking any ribbon cables. It also looks like I need to use, no, that's good news. So the USB cover, there's a new one on the new case, so that's cool. Right. So what else is attached there? Right, so well, let's just get these other couple of screws out and see what that does. I'm hoping it's just going to release something underneath that'll just make getting that circuit board out a touch easier. Right, those screws are different to the case screws, so I'll just keep those two separately. What does that do? Nothing obvious. Alright guys, I'm just going to have a bit of a play with this and see if I can work out how actually I think that will probably pop off. Yeah. Some sort of power connector. Right, okay, so that's a power connector, and then there's a ribbon there which looks to me like it's the screen ribbon. So will that just pop off of there? Yes, it will. Excellent. Right, that was easy. So now how to get the screen out of there. It's obvious that that'll just thread through there. All the new stuff out of the way. Well, it's not going to if I just pull the screen front protector off. Oh Christ! I say it's not going to hurt. Right, I'm back. I've got a couple of these little prise-in tools. Hopefully we'll just be able to get this screen off one way or another. There we go. I'm just trying not to hurt the actual LCD under there. There we go. Job's a good one. Well, I'm not sure where to go from there, guys. I can't see how the mechanical part of the keyboard comes out of the back of there, because there's no other screws. It looks to me like these little plastic rivets are actually kind of plastic welded in to keep this metal, the actual keyboard, the mechanical part of the keyboard, not that, just the mechanical part behind it, or the circuit board part behind it. And I can't see how, other than breaking these plastic rivets that need to be melted. That looks to me like it's the only way to get this out. So I might actually be bloody snookered. Well, look, I'm not bothered if I knacker this up, so, well, it's already knackered up in it, so I'll have a good poke. Alright, I'll do a bit of research and come back in a sec. Right, so I've done a little bit of research, and I've found what I was missing in terms of the screen, although now I'm getting bloody fingerprints everywhere, is that there's another couple of screws just behind these little rubber grommets here. I need to keep those because there are no replacements with the new bits. So I'll get these screws out, and then I'll have to decide what I can or can't do about the keyboard, because that's the bit that's absolutely snookering me at the minute. I can't find anything online at the minute that kind of shows me how to get this keyboard out. I think what I need to do is just I've not got a soldering iron or anything, so I think what I need to do is just melt these little they're basically just plastic rivets from what I can tell, and then I can put it in there, but it's just whether it's gonna stay in place or not. That's the thing. That's the bit that's confusing me at the minute. So I've got to get that kind of keyboardy bit out. And that. Right, on we go. that. Gently, he says. Ah, right, okay, well that bit of keyboard there comes out with the, it's all connected. Oh Christ, there's all, I forgot about all the speaker assembly and shit as well. Right. I'm hoping I'll just be able to tease that through there. Pop this over there. Apologies folks, I'm concentrating now, so I'm conscious that I'm not yeah, well do you know what, that's just coaxed its way out of there. That solves that problem then. In fact, let me just pop that back on. There. Alright, so how do we get the camera and speaker assembly out of there? Looks like it's wants to come out. Ah, there we go. It's just actually looks like it's just kind of glued in. That's that one. Now the camera, the ribbon is in the way this side. Ah, bollocks. It didn't sound good, but I might be okay. I might have got away with that. It sounded like something might have broke. Again, I'm hoping it's just the glue that's broke there. Right, that's that. Excellent. So while I'm at it, I'm just going to put this straight into there and get this bit done. This is just a clip. There we go. You probably won't see this on camera, but there's just a hair. Sorry, I'm conscious. I keep moving away from the camera. Sorry about this. Right. Just push the camera in. That seems quite happy there. And same with the speaker. The speaker does look like it might want to move, so I might just have to pop a dab of glue in. I don't know. I guess when you kind of put the rest of the case assembly back together, it probably holds everything into place, but don't want to risk it, frankly, so I might glue it. Well, needs to go through there. I know that much. Is that it? Well, it looks to me like that's it for this part of the assembly. This is the one I've not taken to bits yet, just have a look, it looks. Right, let's just get these couple of screws in then. Sure, I'm probably doing this in the wrong order. I'm hoping that ribbon cable for the screen will have enough length to get through into the next the next section if I can coax it back through, so it gets to the. Yeah, I think I should be okay with that. Right. So I'm just going to put this to one side. I'll clean the screen off before putting the main screen back on. I've also just realised what I've done, which is not to put the keyboard under there. So I was right, those screws are going to have to come back out pretty much immediately. That was... I was just getting excited. Pop that out of there. Drop that in there. Pop that back down. Ah, shit, the screws. Dickhead. Apologies for the profanity there. Right. Let's do that again. So the absolute very worst, if I can't get that out, yeah, no, I don't want to live with this. This keyboard is the 9 key there, or sorry, the hash key is knackered. So I don't want to use the bottom half of that. And to be honest, yeah, what I can't separate at the minute so I'd have to use all of that. Right, so I think we're going places now. I'm gonna stick this screen on just because I don't want to knacker this. Well, I'm going to put the screen glass on because I don't want to knacker this up. So I'm just going to give this a good clean. A quick. No, I'm not quite happy with that. That looks pretty spot on now. Doesn't look like there's anything else to come off of that, so I'm thinking I might have to apply my own glue to it somehow. Alright, so I've now ascertained there is no glue or anything on the back of this. Normally it's just one of those self-sealed. Aha! Is that it there? I think that's it. And it's just stuck to this. I reckon this kit's just that old that it's actually stuck to the plastic rather than coming off on the glass. Tits. Oh no, this is knackered. Shit. Right, so in my head what I was already thinking was that I'm going to have to just use some super glue. But what I know I'll have to do is actually make sure that there's a real full seal around, because otherwise dust will get in behind the glass and into the under and into the screen. So so we don't want that. So I'm going to have to come back to that in a bit. So I'm going to come and put that to one side. But what I've also done is I've had a closer look at the keyboard mechanism. So this bottom bit comes out, and what I've noticed is that there's just a couple of pegs there and there, look, just that are on the underside of that. So I think that all I really need to do is when I look at the little guide poles, I reckon that I just need to melt off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, possibly that one, 8, 9, 10. I just need to kind of effectively melt those little rivets off. That will then allow the keyboard to come out. And then I can pop it into there. And then all I'll do is just glue over the top of these just to keep the keyboard in place. So I'll probably do this off camera and just go and heat a knife up or something over the gas, and just see if I can prise this keyboard out of there. So I'm hoping that's going to do it. I'm hoping that I can just glue these bits back in from the underside. Just wondering if I do this one first, whether the rails will still go on. I think so. Well, only one way to find out. Let's have a crack. It will all be worthwhile in the end. Sorry if you can't see this, folks. My fingers are going to obscure this process a little bit, I think. I'll try and let you see what's going on. My understanding of super glue is less is more. So I'm just putting a very light dab of that in there. Right, so I've given that a good sort of 10 minutes, and well, apart from I've now just stuck my finger to the bloody thing, so it's going to have to be cleaned up. What a clown. It looks to be okay, so I'm going to do the same with the rails, and then hopefully we're going to be good to go. Right, well, that's everything kind of glued where it needs to be. I'm just going to leave this again for another 10 minutes or so, and then I'll clean up any excess, and then I'll see about putting it back together, because the more I do this, the more I'm desperate to know whether it still bloody works or not. Alright, so I reckon I've given the glue on here enough time now. So I'm going to start trying to put this thing back together. While I was waiting for that glue to dry, I've just gone and cleaned this up, and it looks pretty good now. So I'm just going to whack this on here. I've noticed that there's actually a sticky pad there already, so I can just pop that straight back on. There we go. I thought I was going to have to glue that. Now, I must admit, having had to glue this, I'm really not looking forward to trying to glue this screen glass back on. So I'm tempted to contact the seller and ask if they can send me another one, or I might just buy another one or whatever, because it's obvious that the sticky stuff just knackered up. So I'm a little bit unsure exactly how I'm going to fully kind of proceed with that, but we'll get there. So I just kind of need to remember the exact order now. I know that needs to thread back through there. There we go. Getting there, folks. Getting there. Alright. Pop these two top screws back in. Nimble fingered. I want to over tighten. And then there were two screws just there that screw the rest of the screen back together. That's it. Oh, balls, I forgot the hinge. I reckon I might be able to get that in there. Ah, brilliant. Screws back in. And I think it was the smaller pair of screws that go in these holes. Right, it's starting to look and feel very much more like a phone. In fact, if I turn it over, apart from the glass screen, that is, for all intents and purposes. Okay, butterfingers. For all intents and purposes, this is now back to being a phone. So the last thing to put inside, I reckon, is the PCB. Now, if you remember, what I think I was going to do was use the other D900 as a donor for that button, because it's a bit crappy. So I think I'm going to do that in there. But what I just need to do first is plug the screen back in. In fact, it might be easier if I close the screen down and then the ribbon cable comes through. I've just got a little bit more play. Yeah, that's much easier. I think that's back on. Let's just pull the screw. That's it. That's better. That's better. Pop that one back on there. And then we've got four screws to go back in there. Although they're all through the case. So I think just before I do that, what I'm going to do is just, yeah, I'm going to take both of those out of there and use those. So, and then we have a much better volume switch and camera switch. Pop that ribbon . Just go in that channel. Back into there. Right. Line everything up. And get some screws in. Well folks, this is starting to feel like I've achieved what I set out to. I didn't want to put the battery in and test it until I fully reassembled it, just because. So I thought I'll put the whole thing back together and then we'll see if we're working or not. So like I say, the only thing I need to do really is to sort the glass screen out. I'm going to have to make a decision as to whether I glue or otherwise. So put that back in there. It's looking pretty good. Feels pretty good. Yeah, I'll just put these little rubber grommets back. I think that's for the battery. There we have it. Apart from the screen, we have one brand new with super glue marks. D900. Well, that's good. Oh, I need to stick a SIM card in. I've only got, well, I've got an O2 SIM card and I've got an E SIM card. It says Virgin when you turn it on, but honestly, I don't know if it's unlocked or what. It turns on quickly. Well, the keyboard works. Right, well, I'm going to have to go back to the drawing board. I need to get hold of a SIM card that works, or some sort of network lock code unlocker, and sort the screen out, and then I'll put part 2 on, but that looks extremely promising. Right, so as you saw, that didn't go as well as I'd hoped. There's a couple of things that actually really scuppered me at the end. One was that the sticky that holds the screen glass just wasn't up to the job. I imagine it's been sat in a warehouse somewhere. So unfortunately, I never got around to resolving this, and mainly because I ordered another one off eBay, COVID, blah blah, etc. It didn't turn up, and then I just lost all interest, frankly. And the second issue was, or is, I'd used the wrong innards. Basically, the innards that I'd used for the D900i are locked to Virgin Mobile. What I'd not really factored in was that Virgin Mobile don't exist anymore. In the UK anyway. I'm sure that some people will correct me and say that Virgin Mobile still exists in Canada, but anyway. So yeah, basically it is locked to Virgin. I tried a £3 unlocking service off of the internet. That didn't work. They emailed me and said, oh, I'm sorry, we can't do this, and gave me a refund. So I tried a more expensive, I think a 16 or a 17 quid 17 British pounds service, unlocking service, to try and get it unlocked, and that didn't work. So I'm stuck with that network lock. And honestly, what I then couldn't be asked to do was, well, not even couldn't be asked, I couldn't be asked. I just got sick of it. So I'd still got the other innards from the D900 that you saw in the video, but honestly, I'd lost the appetite. I'd lost the heart to carry on and finish this refurb process. But honestly, I think I'd made a very, very, passable job of the hardware side of things. It's just, as I say, unfortunate that I couldn't finish the job. The reason number 2 that I didn't really end up finishing the job is because 2 days after, and while waiting for the replacement screen to turn up, I found another one on eBay. The seller wanted £60 British for it, and I snapped it up immediately. No messing around, no best offers, no haggling, etc. Just click, buy it now, get that to me ASAP, thank you. And I think he was originally going to send it via Hermes, and I said no, for God's sake, don't do that. So I asked him to send it via special delivery, which he duly did, and this arrived on the 20th of June 2020, and it's still sealed. I've not been in it, I've not opened it, I've just scribbled that out to cover my address. So the next video that I post so it's going to be a new video or part 2 or whatever you want it to be, is this. This is as near to new as you could possibly find, Samsung D900, and I'm going to unbox it, and I'm going to do what I wanted to do in the first place, was just play with a bloody Samsung D900. How hard could and should that be? I swear I make these things hard for myself, I know. But there we go, so you live and learn. I'm still actually trying to be patient on looking for a couple of other retro phones that I'd really like to get hold of, and to be honest, anything that I'm finding that I know and love and remember from the late 90s, early 2000s, I'm just getting hold of it. So I've actually got around 15 other phones and mobiles and smartphones to work through. So I've got plenty of content coming up for you guys. I'm going to hopefully get these on much faster and much more frequently now and over the next few weeks and next couple of months. So thanks for watching. It's been epic. I hope you've enjoyed it. I enjoyed the process, and yeah, hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.
Retro Unboxing.